Hi, my name is Diego, and in this video I want to cover a little bit of the details of how are we doing remote line sessions here at the HIT. The first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need to download an app called Zoom Meetings, and it's important to do this in advance prior to your lesson. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes to complete the process, not only of downloading the app. You're going to need to put an email address, and there you're going to get an email with a link that you have to click to verify the app. Important to do this all in advance. It's free, so you don't have to pay for the account. And what's important is if you do this in advance, you should be ready to start your lesson on time, because we're trying to run the same schedule that we have here at the studio, just with the students at their houses. So super important, do this in advance so you're ready to get started at your scheduled time. The second thing that you're going to need is to write these two numbers down. We're posting here the direct lines that we're using to be able to text you a code with the meeting ID and the password. Now, these two are cell lines that we're using, and we're doing this by text because it's a lot easier for us to coordinate multiple lessons at the same time. So there is no need to call us. If you want to call us, please do that on our regular business line. But these numbers are only to send you the codes through text. If you have a question, we prefer if you text us back, and we're trying to even get some students to confirm via text that they are interested in doing this type of lesson. But again, if you want to speak to someone, call regular business line. These numbers are to send you the codes and to keep the process super fast. Once you receive the code, what you need to do is click on Join Meeting on the app and put the meeting ID, and then it's going to ask you for a password. Once you put the password in, you should be able to see your instructor at your scheduled time. So it's fairly easy, and we're going to cover also in detail what do you need for each specific instrument. But with that process, you should have everything that you need to get started. So let's cover a couple of basics on the devices that you're going to be using. First, we would prefer if you use a laptop and put the software on a laptop, as we believe it's going to have a stronger, better connection. Now, if you don't have a laptop, that's okay. You can use any device that you have. It is super important that the shot that we see is not necessarily a wide shot. We don't need to see all of your house. You can preferably put the student against the wall so we can see the student, their hands, their face, and at the same time, we don't necessarily need to see any distractions for us as instructors. And we prefer if the student is in a room that is not necessarily a room that the student also is going to be distracted. So maybe not necessarily the living room, maybe a room would probably be the best, so the student can just interact with the teacher without a lot of distractions. It is important also to mention that Wi-Fi is critical, and it's important to put the student close to your router. So if you're using a cell phone or if you're using an iPad, probably good to check the distance between the device and the router so we don't lose connection in the middle of the session. So it is important, don't go too far with the device, because as the farther that it goes, the harder that it would probably be for the connection to flow easily between the two devices. Guitar players, super important that your guitar is in tune before we start the lesson. Now, we are making a video that we're gonna post in the description of this video of how to tune and how to use a guitar tuner app that we use here at the studio. Super important, try your best to have the guitar already in tune, and at the same time to have all the materials that you need, including the guitar out of its case, a pick, anything that you may need to be able to play it. Also, we want to try to ask you, if possible, to have two devices. One to play music from, let's say, our practice channel, so we can hear you play along other things, and at the same time the device that you're going to be using to be able to communicate with your teacher. One thing that we would like to ask, if you do have two devices, is even better if the second device would have speakers. So if you can have, let's say, a phone connected to Bluetooth speakers, that would be ideal. If you only have one device, that's also okay. But preferably, if you have two, it would help us to make the lesson a little bit more fun, especially for the student. Now, it is super important to mention, headphones would be really beneficial, especially if you are in a group class. So definitely, if you have headphones, good thing to connect them. And we do need to see your hands, and we probably need to be able to move the shot a little bit. So it's good if we ask you to, okay, show me your right hand, show me your left hand. At some moments, we may have to choose between the two, but it's important, if you can, to be able to move the device a little bit so we can change the shot and see different things that you are playing. The shot that we would like to see from guitar players is from the front, so super important for us to be able to preferably see the guitar. And I think there's moments in we would probably, it's easier to just see the guitar than your face. but definitely we want to shun from the front so we can see the guitar in both hands so we can help you. So we want to conclude by thanking you for this opportunity. There's a lot of changes going on here at the Hit Music Studio, and we are incredibly grateful to be able to further our relationship with you guys through technology, through video, and doing the lessons remotely. So we hope this is a short time and that we can restore our schedule back up. But in the meantime, we truly want to continue having our passion for music also impact you guys at home and have the students retain some normalcy in their lives. We'll hope to see you guys very soon.